Hey guys, it's Reese. Welcome back. Sorry about that. I'm just readjusting the track and everything. Well, the track as in the Carmat track, that is. Otherwise now referred to as Lightning Speedway. Because I think that's a really cool, fun, unique name for this Carmat track thing. So yeah. Anyways, with that out of the way, let's get into the racing stuff, which is racing all of my next-gen NASCAR diecast cars on Lightning Speedway today. Because it's only next-gen NASCAR diecast cars I'll be using today for this racing event, it's going to be a lot less cars, and that means that the racing part will be done a lot quicker as well because of that. So yeah, instead of racing like all my 100-plus NASCAR diecast cars, I'll be racing maybe about 20 to 30 of them, because that's how many next-gen cars I have in total. And 1 or 2 days ago, this week or weekend, I did actually get 2 more from the local Walmart store, and surprisingly, they were 2023 Wave 1 of the next-gen NASCAR diecast cars. So yeah. However, we'll have to wait a few more races before those actually appear. So yeah. Now, I believe the last time I did like NASCAR diecast car racing or diecast car racing of any kind on this Carmat before I called it Lightning Speedway today, I believe I had the top 3 cars advanced. That's not going to work anymore. It's just top 2 this time. Yep. I know I normally do top 3, but it's not going to work this time, only because that's just what I feel like doing. Because if I do 3 cars, then I'll have to have another 3 cars, and then that makes it more difficult, because then I'll have to do like 2 or 3 races after the first race is done, kind of thing. Well, after all the races for round 1 are done, then I'll have to do like 2 separate races, because I'd be racing 6 cars the next round instead of 4 cars. So that's why I'm only doing the top 2. 3, 2, 1, go. Oh, that's not good. William Byron's crashing. Corey LaJoie's still in the lead, and somehow William Byron's now in the lead. I don't know what Brad Keselowski's doing, but he doesn't seem to be winning right now, as there's 2 laps to go now in this race. Isn't this the... Yep, that's Cole Custer. I don't know what Corey LaJoie's doing, but he was winning. Not anymore. 1 lap to go in this race. Final lap. Well, and out of nowhere, Brad Keselowski ends up winning that after he holds the lead on lap 3 and 4 of that race. Corey LaJoie is obviously second place. So, yeah. Well, unfortunately, those 2 cars are eliminated. They will not be racing anymore. Next race. This is an interesting race because there's 2 Toyotas, a Ford, and a Chevy. All right. 3, 2, 1, go. Lap 2 of 4. Whoa, how did that car end up going backwards? Whoa, what's going on here? All these cars are just crashing into each other. And we have a 2-car crash, and it involves the Ford and one of the Camrys. Lap 3 of 4, 1 more to go. Final lap, who's going to win? Oh no, and somehow Kaz Gralla ends up accidentally slowing down, and the 2 Toyota Camrys will advance. Wow, that's the first time we've had 2 of the same car brand manufacturer car advance in this race here. He was going to get second, but something weird caused him to slow down at the end of that race, and I don't know why, but I guess it was the overtake from one of those cars. And he just didn't want to cause an accident at the end, because remember, I do have a rule: if there's an accident right at the end of the race, we'll have to do a 1-lap shootout between all the cars that were involved in that accident. Next race, let's just say Ford heavily outfavors Chevrolet in this race. So it doesn't look good for Chevy in this race here, as it is starting 3rd or 4th place in this race. But anything can happen. We've seen a lot of crazy comebacks and overtakes happen, as well as crashes and bad turns taken. Because I believe a race I did a few weeks ago, probably like 3-4 weeks ago, possibly longer than that, a car took a turn really badly, and I don't know if it ended up catching up to the cars or not in time to even get first or second place in that race. I can't even recall what car it was or what kind. I know it was diecast car racing. I just don't know if it was NASCAR's, Hot Wheels, or Matchbox, or like premium stuff. But whatever car it was, it took that turn over there really badly and went off track. Anyways, back to this race. 3, 2, 1, go. Halfway through, that Chevy has not improved yet. Wow, and out of nowhere, the Chevy's battling, but there's 3 other Fords. And oh my goodness, every car just crashed upside down. We're on the final lap now. And every car's like spinning and drifting out of crazy and all going backwards and stuff. You can't win the race by going backwards. I don't allow for backwards finishing in the race. Wow, and Kevin Harvick ends up winning that race, followed by Larson in second. I told you that even though there was 3 Fords, anything's possible, and sure enough it was, as that Chevy somehow advances from that group of 3 Ford Mustang NASCAR diecast cars in that race there. Actually, I believe that car was dead last, so I just had to redo some stuff over there. I also think this car was somewhere back here. I could be slightly wrong though. All right, let's do this race. 3, 2, 1, go. Sushi Boy, hey, thanks for joining my live. I'm just doing some NASCAR Next Gen racing on my Lightning Speedway. That's what I've decided to name this Carmat track thing. I decided to name it Lightning Speedway only because I wanted a really cool, fun, unique name for this Carmat track thing. And I only got one suggestion, and I'm like, I don't really like that name, only because of, well, 2 different reasons. Is I didn't really know how special that name was going to be for the Carmat track, and also I don't want to give away the state I'm supposedly living in the USA when I do my live streams, or like if I make a video kind of thing. So yeah, that's why I decided not to go with his suggestion. And surprisingly, no other subscribers gave me a suggestion for my Carmat NASCAR style track like thing. So yeah. So Sushi Boy, I do actually have a Hot Wheels 6-lane track and a 4-lane track. I used to have 2 6-lane tracks, I think, or 1. No, I've always had 1 6-lane track. I used to have 2 4-lane tracks, but then one of the spots where the cars go down the track near the very end had like a it got damaged so badly that it wouldn't go back into place properly. Like there was a bend or a dent in the track at the bottom where the cars finished. And also for some reason that not that track, but a different track I used to use kept favoring like lanes 3 and 4 a majority of the time, and I'm like, I can't have a track favor lanes all the time, because to be honest, if that car didn't hit the thing before the other car that supposedly gets first place did, because that's what happened on this previous 4-lane track that I occasionally end up using, although I haven't in a while. So yeah. Anyways, back to this race. There's 2 laps left to go in this race. The only reason I'm not using my 6-lane track is it's not a NASCAR style like track setup thing, which is why I'm using this one, because a majority of the NASCAR races are done on an oval like track. And that's what this one is. Lap 3 of 4. Wow, I forgot to mention, there's 3 Chevys in this race. Whoa, what happened to number 22 Logano at the end? I thought he was going to get first or second for sure, but something just didn't work out his way at the end, and he's eliminated. This race does feature one of my newer NASCAR diecast cars. It's a next-gen Ford Mustang. The driver is Chris Buescher. I don't believe I have any Chris Buescher NASCAR diecast cars, so that is my very first one of him for my collection. I know they had another Chris Buescher as a Castrol car, but I don't know if it was that wave or a different wave, because I know one of them had a driver number Castrol car. I believe it was number 6, which would be either Brad Keselowski or Chris Buescher. And I know one of those two waves of NASCAR had a liquid colored chase of that car, but they were both Castrol themed NASCAR diecast cars. And they literally had two of the same cars in that paint job. Both of them were Ford Mustangs, and one of those Ford Mustangs had a chase version, and I can't remember if it was the Chris Buescher one or the Brad Keselowski one. I'm going to have to look that up after this live is done. So, yeah. Anyways, I'm not hoping Chris Buescher doesn't advance. I'm just hoping he does well in this race, because it is that car's first time racing for that car and that driver as well on Lightning Speedway, which is the official name I will use from now on for this car map. 3, 2, 1, go. Looks like Hamlin and Truex Jr. are still first and second as the first 2 laps are done. Here comes Buescher. Buescher's in first or second place now. 1 lap to go. Is Buescher going to win? Chris Buescher wins his first race on Lightning Speedway as a new NASCAR driver makes its first debut on the track today in this live stream. Second place goes to Truex Jr. Unfortunately, Hamlin and the test car don't advance. All right, next race. Now, there is a new next-gen car in this race. It's not new as in its first time making an appearance on this track, or the 2 Hot Wheels tracks I use for other diecast car racing events. It's a next-gen version of Martin Truex Jr., although it is his newest one from 2023 Wave 1. So, yeah. And I do already have a Truex Jr. car advancing from the previous race, so we'll see what happens. Will Truex Jr. advance twice? And will he actually win this race? Because last race, it looked like he would have been first or second throughout a majority of the race, but then out of nowhere comes newcomer Chris Buescher to secure his first ever win. 3, 2, 1, go. Oh, looks like Truex Jr. is fighting through traffic there. Now we're on to lap 204. 2 more to go. Whoa, what's going on here? And we have a crash. Yep, Steinhaus Jr. crashes, I believe, before the 3rd or 4th lap happens. Final lap. Let's see who's going to advance. And Truex Jr. will take the checkered flag this time in the race, followed by Eric Jones in second. Now, the bizarre thing is, Eric Jones, when he actually started the Cup Series for NASCAR cars a few years ago, he used to be in the Toyota Camry, and then he switched over to the Chevrolet Camaro. Now, I don't know if that was because he was on a different racing team after he switched, or if he just wanted to be in a different car for some reason. Or I believe it's because number 43 didn't have a car for a the car didn't have a driver. That's probably what it was, because 43 previously used to be Bubba Wallace, and actually way back when it used to be what's his name? Richard Petty. That's who it used to be way back when. Yeah, it used to be Richard Petty for NASCAR racing way back when in the 60s, I believe, with the Charger Daytona Hemi or the Plymouth Superbird. He used one of those 2 cars. Again, I was not even around back then, so I'm not sure which one he exactly used, but I know he used one of those 2. However, these 2 cars don't officially advance, as I do have to do one more race This will also have a redo of Steinhaus Jr. So Steinhaus Jr. has a second chance, and there's also the first chance for Daniel Suarez to do anything. Let's see what happens in this race here. 3, 2, 1, go. Looks like Truex Jr. and Eric Jones are off to a strong first and second place as we are halfway through this race here. Lap 3 of 4. Here comes Daniel Suarez, but will it be enough for him to win? I mean, it's probably not going to be enough for him to win, but it's going to be enough for him to advance. And Truex Jr. just narrowly at the end edges out Daniel Suarez for a really close photo finish there. Wow, that was super close. Looks like we'll have 2 of Truex Jr.'s cars advancing in round 2. My day's been going pretty well so far. I haven't really done anything exciting besides this, to be honest. So yeah. I do know that my local Walmart store has 2023 Wave 1 NASCAR diecast cars there. So that's the only reason I got 2 of them like 2 or 3 days ago. Besides that, no new like chase cars, whether it's Hot Wheels, Matchbox, or like any of the other premium brands, M2 Machines, Outer World, Johnny Lightning, Greenlight. So yeah, no premium chase cars, no NASCAR chase cars. No new treasure hunts, no new Matchbox Super Chases that I've seen at my local Walmart store. My local Target store I haven't been to in quite a few weeks, actually. I think it's been like 3 to 5 weeks since I went there last. So yeah, I honestly don't know what they have there now lately. I do know the last time I went to that local Target store, I got 1 car from 2023 J case. And I don't know if that was the only car I ended up getting there that day. I could be wrong, though. I may or may not have gotten like 2, maybe 3 other cars. You know, to be honest, that's kind of a topic that I would like to discuss further at a different time. Only because, you know, a lot of people, when they go diecast car hunting or diecast car peg hunting, well, they really call it peg hunting, I believe, but some people might call it diecast car hunting. Whichever way you refer to it as in your videos when you make them, there's, you know, a common theme that I feel like is happening, and that's, you know, stealing diecast cars is becoming a lot more common than people want it to be. So yeah, I just thought I'd mention that really quickly. And we honestly don't know if it's people working at those stores doing it or if it's just, you know, rude customers who just have nothing better to do than just, you know, steal a product that's like $1.20 plus tax. And then with tax included, it's like $1.30. But then if you like, you know, have like, you know, some rewards program or discount of some sort, you know, it's probably like going to be close to $1.20 at that rate. So yeah, it's really unfair and uncalled for that people are stealing Hot Wheels and Matchbox basic cars more often than they would for the premium ones, because I feel like that they should realize that it's not worth stealing the premium ones because they know they cost a lot more. And to be honest, the premium ones, they don't really have the same packaging as the basic cars do because, you know, they have to use like brands and logos on those as well, actually. So yeah, let's just be glad that people are not stealing super treasure hunts at the stores. Now, again, you can't really tell what the people will be doing at those places where they're making the cars, like in Malaysia or wherever, way outside of the USA. Because, again, that's so many thousands of miles away from everyone in North America, which is USA and Canada combined together to make the continent of North America. So, yeah, you can't really tell what people are doing at a place like that so many miles away from people in the USA or Canada. So as much as people may seem as, you know, uncalled for or not polite in a way, you know, we're all just going to have to live with it. I know it's hurting us collectors because, you know, we don't get the super treasure hunts if people that are, you know, putting the cars into the cases and, you know, for the factory that are doing that. So, yeah. Anyways, enough talk about that. I really need to refocus back on the racing stuff because that's the whole point of this event. 3, 2, 1, go. I don't know if Corey LaJoy won the last time I did a NASCAR race on this track before I switched its name to Lightning Speedway. Anyways, well, 204 is done. Yep, 304 is done. We're on the final lap now. Looks like the same two cars have been first and second. And it's going to be Keselowski getting the win, followed by Corey LaJoy in second place. Unfortunately, that's the end for Eric Jones. No, that's not Eric Jones. That's Christopher Bell. I'm sorry, but Eric Jones used to be in, I think it was this number 20 car or a different car before he switched over to the number 43 Chevy. So, yeah. Like, are you asking how many cars I have in total in not just NASCAR Next Gen cars, or are you talking about just the cars I'm using for this event in total, for how many cars I have in total? Because if you're asking that, you need to be more specific on that question. Because I have well over 100 plus NASCAR diecast cars. And they just the cars I'm using, is that what you meant to say? Let's see here. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26. Yeah, so I have 26 next-gen NASCAR diecast cars. 26. All right, let's see who's going to win this race. Now, there's 3 Chevys, but that Ford is starting in second place, so we'll see if he remains second or if something will happen. So, yeah. Now, the unfortunate thing is there's 3 different Chevy Camaros in here. There's Eric Jones again, actually. Kyle Larson. And who's this one? Oh, Ty Dillon. The bizarre thing is I forgot to mention that Ty Dillon's new driver number is 42. It used to be a few years ago, number 13, actually. Diamonds, hey, thanks for joining. Just to let you know that you have joined the live stream a bit late. Although not so late like all the racing is done, but I am getting closer towards finishing these races so I can get on to round 3, which would be the final 8 cars, and then after that would be round 4, which is the final 4 cars, and then round 5 would be the final 3 cars. 3, 2, 1, go. Lap 204. Now on to lap 304. Final lap. That Mustang is still held up in first or second place the majority of this race here. Whoa, what happened there? Somehow, that crash looked like it was going to cost him, but it didn't. Kevin Harvick holds on after a bizarre crash almost cost him first place at the end. Wow, that was something for sure, because he literally was in the air for a few seconds, and then one of those 2 cars behind him thought that they were going to overtake him, and then somehow Harvick didn't actually end up crashing upside down or like going sideways after that, or off track. Well, off track or upside down. Basically just something to affect him well enough that he wouldn't advance to the next round. But he does. All right, well, we're at the final 8 cars already. Yep. Gonna have to race these 4 again, actually, right now, because that race will have to be saved for after this race is done. 3, 2, 1, go. And it's LaJoy and Keselowski still first and second. Harvick's trying to come up, but Keselowski says no. 1 lap to go. And it's still the same 2 cars. Oh, here comes Eric Jones. Final lap. Eric Jones wins, followed by Brad Keselowski getting second after a crazy few events happened. There wasn't any crashes, but just a few overtakes caused some cars to end up in places they didn't want to be at the end, and they couldn't re-overtake those cars at the end to possibly advance. So Corey LaJoie, sorry buddy, but your run's over. Same with Kevin Harvick. Looks like we have Eric Jones and Brad Keselowski advancing into the final 4 cars. Let's see who's going to advance from this group. Now, will we have Martin Truex Jr. advance twice from this race or just once? I'm hoping it's once because I really do want to see what Chris Buescher does, as it is his first time in this track as a new driver debut. And a new, well, not really a new car debut, but more of just a new driver debut. 3, 2, 1, go. Buescher and Truex Jr. still first and second. Whoa, what is Suarez doing? Why is he driving backwards? Does he think by... Oh my goodness, and Suarez took an awful turn there. That awful turn just cost him badly. Wow, that's gotta hurt. Lap 3 of 4. Well, what happened there? Cars are going off track. Final lap. Who's going to win in advance here? Chris Buescher wins, followed by the newest version of Truex Jr. car advances. That was really crazy because some of these cars went off course and they took turns on the track not so well. Right, well, final 4. We have 2 Mustangs, 1 Camry, and 1 Chevy. I'm honestly not sure who's going to advance from this, but we'll see. Now remember, at the end of this race, 1 car will be eliminated. Just thought I'd mention that. 3, 2, 1, go. The 2 Mustangs are now first and second, as we are now on lap 2 of 4. Lap 3 of 4. What's going to happen? Final lap. And it looks like Keselowski's going to win. Who's going to get third? Third place is undecided, but we do know that Keselowski and Buescher will advance to the final 2 cars for this racing event. All right, these 2 have to do a 1-lap shootout because it was a photo finish, so we'll see what happens here. 3, 2, 1, go. Might have to do another 1-lap shootout, as he did go slightly off course at the end. 3, 2, 1, go. Well, this time we know for sure that Truex Jr. will be advancing. So we have the 2 Mustangs and the 1 Toyota. Now, unfortunately, after this race, we must say goodbye to 1 more car, whether it's number 17, number 6, or number 19, and whether it's one of the 2 Ford Mustangs or the Camry. So yeah, the final 3 cars for this event are Brad Keselowski, next-gen Mustang, Chris Buescher, next-gen Mustang, and Martin Truex Jr., next-gen Camry. 2 Fords and 1 Toyota. It'll be interesting to see how this stacks up for this race here. 3, 2, 1, go. Well, halfway through. Don't know what Truex Jr. was doing back there. I think it was possibly almost about to take a nap or something, or a pause for I don't know what reason. Final lap, I believe, or 1. All right, final lap now. Well, and Buescher gets the win, and Truex Jr. on the final lap ends up getting second place, causing Brad Keselowski to end up not advancing. Keselowski will be getting third, so we'll see what happens here. All right, Because it's now down to 2 cars instead of 4 laps, we're going to do 2 laps, and let's see what happens here. Who's going to be the ultimate winner from this racing event? Will it be newcomer Chris Buescher, because this is the very first car I own of him. The previous number 17 Mustang I have for NASCAR diecast cars were Steinhaus Jr., and that was before he switched over to the 47 Camaro. Three, two, one, go. Final lap. Who's going to win it all? And Chris Buescher, the newcomer, will win it all. All right. Now, meet our top 3 cars from today's event. Newcomer Chris Buescher, first place. The newest version of Truex Jr.'s next-gen Camry is second place. And the Castrol Brad Keselowski gets third place. 1, 2, 3. Well, that's it for this diecast NASCAR's racing event. Bye, everyone. Thanks for watching and joining, and I'll see you later. Have a great rest of your weekend, everyone. Thanks for watching and joining. Bye.